What is up, YouTube? We just finished up at Legacy Fest. Actually met someone really cool today, which is one of my favorite creatives, poets, artists in general. But right now we're about to start cleaning up. We just had a pop-up shop here, which went really dope. And this is the last day of Legacy in Chicago. We still have a tour date on the 27th coming up, so if you don't have tickets for that yet, please cop them soon. But yeah, Legacy Fest has been amazing. I met so many cool people. Had some crazy times just getting here, but now we're here and we're super thankful. And I really want you guys to meet this guy that I just did an interview with, because yeah, it's just one of my favorites. So I'm here with one of my favorite creatives. Okay, so pause. Joseph Solomon is one of my favorite creatives, and for this interview, it was extremely loud, but I really wanted to show you guys because this interview means a lot to me, just as a person that I've looked up to for such a while, and I want to keep this meeting my favorite creative series going on. So enjoy it, and leave a like, comment, subscribe down below, and yeah, see you guys soon. And a person that probably influenced me to start vlogging, Joseph Solomon. You want to just like...
I don't vlog anymore.
You literally don't vlog anymore.
I influence you to vlog and I don't vlog.
But your little Instagram stories and stuff too is dope. Like, you should really do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. What do you do? How'd you get started on like YouTube and like in poetry and everything that you do? Kind of just briefly.
Man, I don't know. I just started doing poetry in Houston, and back in like, I started performing it 4 or 5 years ago, but I've been writing for a long time.
Word.
And it was longer than that, 7 years ago. Wow. And then I don't know, man. I used to blog, like actual blog, and I figured I knew some stuff about a camera. I figured people would watch stuff more than they would read stuff.
Yeah.
So I literally like started reading my blogs on YouTube. So my first few YouTube videos were just blogs that I already wrote, and I just made a manuscript.
Yeah.
And I had no plan. I just started putting stuff out there. I don't know how this stuff works. And next thing you know, man, people was drawn to it. So
you didn't care, like, did you put thought into like the titles and thumbnails like a lot of people are doing right now?
Yeah, so yes and no, man. And maybe that's gonna make me an old head at some point. You know, old heads always want to stick with, hip hop. My day, this ain't real rap. You know,
right.
Cool Mo D. These are the, I won't be that dude in 10 years. But I think it's more so not not wanting to follow trends, but I'm always striving to feel organic online.
Yeah.
Which is so hard because you still have to do real stuff. Like you gotta look at analytics, and you gotta make sure you got the catchy title and the thumbnails. You gotta promote on this certain time of the day and week and all that. So you gotta have all that.
Yeah.
So trying to like find the balance between like make sure I'm like using the steward and the platform well.
Yeah. It's
but
attention.
Still feel like, oh, he just feels like a real dude. Like he feels like because you go on Instagram, you
everything is fake.
Yeah, you feel like. But this is an ad. This is like
legit.
Yeah, like Instagram, like they'll be posing with some deodorant or something in their hand, and like I don't know, like I just never wanted, which is why I haven't really done a lot of sponsorships. Like people have reached out to me. I don't want to do it unless it feels like, oh, that just feels like Joe. Like he would just normally do that. So
that's sick, man. I mean, like there's definitely a tension just between business and like trying to be a creative. Like, I mean, for me, YouTube is the thing that I struggle with the most. Music, I'm just like, I don't care who likes this. I don't really care how much views it gets. But with YouTube, it's like, it's almost a game that you have to play, which can be stressful if you're creative. And you're just like, why can't I just make a title that says one word and it doesn't have any capital letters and stuff like that? But it's definitely intentional.
Aesthetics, man. I know.
Will you ever get back into like vlogging more seriously? I suggested that you just title your vlogs how you title your more popular videos, and then you could just interweave them.
So, well, here's the issue. So, the reason why I stopped vlogging, again, because you want to be a creative, but it's a business. So, my problem was this. It doesn't take much time to create and edit and put out a teaching video. So
like a
type out stuff. I sit down, teach it, I chop it up, bam, put it out.
Yeah.
Vlogs take a long time. And I'm thinking through creative, like, okay, what music goes here? When does the music stop?
Yeah.
What words do I put here? And I'm typing out little captions and stuff.
Right.
That stuff takes hours and hours and hours. And so like I'll make that teaching video in like less than an hour.
Right.
And it'll get thousands and thousands of views like, first day. Like I'll have like 15,000 views on the video.
Yeah, that's true.
I do a vlog and it has like 5,000. I'm like, and then they'll stay at 5,000 like a month. And I'm like,
Yeah, true.
I did all that work, and so the tension is like, but I'm a creative, so don't just do stuff for the clout. Do
Yeah.
it because it feels good.
Right.
But when you're trying to balance out, like, what do I need to spend my time on?
Right.
Yeah, that's the tough part. So the 15-second things on Insta Story has been dope because it's like I can
Still
do
a way
really,
to
really
get
quick.
it out there.
Yeah, and it's still a cool way for me to be creative and kind of show my day really fast.
Because I know you have to follow Matt D'Avella, at least know who he is.
Who?
Matt D'Avella. He's like the minimalism kind of
Oh,
guy.
I don't.
Okay, so maybe you
I feel bad that I ain't doing that.
No, you're good. I mean, but his whole thing is just like working hard in the genuineness until people come around to it. So he had a video that was just talking about like we can try to come up with all these titles and thumbnails, or we can just make consistently genuine content, and then it'll naturally grow over time. I think it was the same with Tyler the Creator, with his new album. Like it hit #1, but he like produced everything, worked on everything. But for years, people were just saying like he's this weird kid, and the next thing you know, he's selling like more stuff than DJ Khaled, and he's getting mad at him for that. So I think it could be that same thing for you, where you're like, you create these vlogs and you intertwine them with the sit down talking stuff, but it makes it more of an art, like when you know that you took that time.
Right now.
I am teaching you
like,
because you're like, I look up to you and I'm just like, there's not a lot of Christian creatives that like actually, and I just like see that in you. So I don't know. But what's next for you, man? I know you're on the PIA tour. If you want to like plug that.
Yeah. Shout out to the PIA tour. We're probably coming somewhere near you because we're doing 44 cities.
44 cities.
So, but ironically, the thing that's really on the table now, that's kind of leading into PIA, is similar to what you're talking about. So, I write poems that are. I have a ton of poems that are what I like, and then there's the poems that I know would do well on PIA. Now I know what you mean. Yeah, so Flights and Feelings for me will end up being what you're talking about. So like, these first couple of poems are good for the masses, I think, to kind of get some stuff going. Some stuff I've already created. I'm just going to put out a video for it, like the Frequent Flyer and Foreign Masculinity. Those are easy to get. My other poems are not going to be as palatable for the masses. Yeah. But it's what I want to do.
It's what you want to do.
And so my idea is that like it's probably not going to be as popular at first, but if I do it every single week, the people who do find it will love it and they'll stick around for it. And the people who are not really feeling it, every now and then they'll get something that's like, oh, I can get with that.
That's true.
So that's my hope for the Flights and Feelings thing.
Yeah.
And then
because it's weird. I mean, because it's like you'll have the diehard fans that love that stuff. That's like, Joe, please talk about this. Yeah. But then the masses, the first time hearing you, they might not understand. It is weird, but it's like you said, there's stuff that you have to do for the masses, and then you also have to keep this authenticity as just a creative. I don't know. I wish we had like a podcast we could talk about this stuff.
I will. I have a podcast coming out called Flights and Feelings, and I'll talk about this kind of stuff.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I'm being shameless. If you put me in front of the camera, I'm gonna be shameless.
No, that's dope, man.
But yeah, I remember hearing John Mayer talk about that. He was at Berkeley giving a talk, and I wasn't at Berkeley. I was watching it on YouTube, and he was talking about that. He said you have to kind of figure out, everybody wants to be an indie artist. Everybody brags about being indie. He said, everybody wants to be indie until they're given the opportunity to be mainstream. You just be honest, you want to be mainstream.
You just want to be a loved mainstream for you.
Exactly. So like now you have to, decide within yourself, like, how far am I willing to go to be mainstream and how much am I willing to keep? So like, I'll be honest, I want to be in some sense, and I used to think that was a bad thing to say, especially in the Christian world. I think it's fake humility. Right. So I'm just be straight up, like, I want to be seen by more people. But I want to be seen doing what I really want to do. I don't want to just do it for the clout. So I've got to find that balance of like, do what I love, do what I feel like I'm called to do, what I'm made to do, and then try to draw the masses to that. So so that's what Flights and Feelings is trying to do right now, leading into the PIA tour. So.
I'm gonna be on the lookout. I'm super excited for it. And I know we tapped on it about 1,000 times, but so if there was one thing that you would say to like people that are trying to be 1,000% genuine in what they do, but they're feeling like the slowest growth, like what would you say to that person that's out there watching you right now?
Man, consistency. And I don't even follow that rule all the time. And that's why I'm trying to get myself, I know that works. And the world is so big.
Enough? You followed it enough for me to know who you are.
Yeah, I did it enough. So like, the world is so big and yet so small. We're so connected to everything, and I feel like if the masses don't like you immediately, like there's always going to be somebody that likes what you do. Like I've just learned that. Like your style of music may not be. I mean, I think you're a great example. Like your music is not like just kind of typical pop music. It's just easy to catch for the masses.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a mass that will like that, and you just have to like be consistent enough until those masses find it. And, and then the ones who find you, they're like I think King's Kaleidoscope is a semi-good example of that, where they're like they're not your typical fans. CCM, they're not. But their fans are like
every show, like we're coming. Like I went to that Zeal tour 3 times.
Oh wow!
Like the same show 3 times. Like, but that's. I mean, I'll take that over.
Yeah. So exactly. So like you'd rather go to that than some pop. I'd rather go to that. No shade to like a Bethel or Hillsong or whatever. But I'd rather go there. And I would go every time they came to my city. I'll go.
Legit.
So you just have to find. You have to know that's a possibility. You just got to keep doing what you do and do it really, really well. And don't try to be like someone else. Yeah. Because there's already somebody else doing that better already. So find what you do it extremely well, and then the people that like it will love it.
Yeah. That's real.
They'll rock it. Even if it's a show. You can be a touring artist if you can consistently pull 100 to 200 people. That don't sound like a lot, but if those half the people buy merch, you're good, bro.
You're good. Like you can survive.
You can survive, bro. So don't always look for the masses.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, bro.
But yeah, man, this is Joseph Solomon, and see you guys on the next one.